Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Venerable Sangha, Sales and Lady. So today we are going to start the method number 6, right? Method number 6 of the Dhātukatha. So in the method number 6, it's Pali. In the Pali, it's given as Sampayoga Vipayoga, right? Sampayoga Vipayoga Niddesa. It's called Sampayogo and Vipayogo. So which means in English we call it association and disassociation, right? So yes, this also.
今天老师将为大家讲解的是戒论的第6种的分析的方法。那它的名字呢是相应与不相应。OK， 班长。
Right. So, as my experience, as how I have experienced and I have learned and these 6 method and the experiences with my students. Now, when you get to know these words, association and disassociation, Sampayogo and Vipayogo. So when you hear these words, we get the feeling that okay, now it's going to be easy because we learn the Sampayoga and Vipayoga. It's a basic theory that we learn in the Abhidhamma Canon, right, in the 2nd chapter. So you get the feeling that it's going to be easy. The method the chapter number 6, but in the Dhātukatha, the words Sampayoga and Vipayoga, which means the association and disassociation, it consists of more meanings than the basic Sampayoga and Vipayoga, which we learn in the Abhidhamma Canon. And also this method number 6 is the pathway for the next chapters, right? For the next until the 14th chapter, this method, the chapter number 6 is connected to all the other chapters from 7 to 14. So one, you have to remember it's not going to be easy as the Abhidhamma Canon, and also you have to remember that it is going to be connected to the other chapters. So therefore, it's very important to have a good understanding, a solid understanding on this chapter before moving to the other chapters. Yes.
那在这里的第6法呢，所提到的Sampayoga Vipayoga相应与不相应呢，这个概念我们实际上在阿毗达摩的学习之中以前也是有出现过，尤其是在阿毗达摩概要经解的第6章之中也有提到相应与不相应的问题。然而在这里戒论之中所提到的Sampayoga Vipayoga，它具有更多的含义，这也是为什么我们在此呢要对它的含义要先做一个基础的介绍，并且呢，我们也需要明白的是，在这里我们学习相应与不相应呢，是为了接下来的章节，也就是在戒论之中所提到的14种分析方法的后面的从第7到第14的方法做准备。那因此呢，对于相应与不相应的学习呢，我们应当理解，第一呢，它的内容呢要比概要经解之中所学习到的要来得更加的深邃，所以它并不是我们想象的这么容易。第二点呢，它会方便我们能够更好的连接到在之后章节之中所学习到的内容。这是为什么我们在此首先要看一下相应与不相应的理解。
Right. So before moving into the states of inquiries, we need to understand some important concepts, I would say, some important facts regarding the sixth method, and then it's going to be easy. So first what we are going to do is to learn these concepts, and also we have to remember that I mean, after learning a certain number of concepts, we will be learning the we'll go to the states of inquiry and try to understand those things. And while doing those learning those states of inquiries, again we'll have to learn some additional things, right? So we cannot straight away learn all the concepts related to the chapter number 6 and then learn go to the states of inquiry. So what we are going to do, we'll learn a set of concepts in the beginning, some basic theories, and then we'll start learning the states of inquiries, and then slowly we'll be adding up certain areas, and then we'll be able to get a comprehensive knowledge on this chapter. So that's how the approach that we are going to take for this chapter.
那在此呢，我们首先应当正确的理解什么是相应与不相应的概念。我们可以参照概要精简之中，在第6章之中所提到的相应与不相应的内容。那在此基础之上呢，我们将能够去深入到在戒论之中有关于这一组的法的所探究的内容，也就是所探究的这个法的内容，以及呢，在这个基础之上，我们将一点一点的增加其他的法。那以这样的方式呢，我们将深入这一个章节，也就是第6法的内容。
Right. So for the subject matter, right? Subject matter means the state of inquiry. So we need to learn these things. One is associated, the second is disassociated, 3 both associated and disassociated. So okay, so what first we are going to learn is about the association, which we already know, right? Which from this is the knowledge from the Abhidhamma Sangha, the 2nd chapter. So it says that the 4 mental aggregates, right? The association, the 4 mental aggregates are mutually associated, right? Mutually means we know it, right? In Pali we call it anyamani, right? So we get the association, the sampayutta. They are mutually associated, right? So which means 1 is with 3, 3 is with 1, 2 with this 2, like that. That's how it's taught in the Patana Pali, right? The one aggregate, one mental aggregate, it is associated with 3. 3 of them are associated with 1, and 2 of the mental aggregates are associated with the 2. Two mental aggregates, and so we need to remember these 4 characteristics which we already know, right? They arise together. In Pali we call it ekuppada, cease together. So those 4 mental aggregates, they arise together and also they cease together, which means they stopped, right? The bhanga. So which means eka nirodha, right? First one is ekuppada, the second one is eka nirodha. It says the other one, it says it have the same object, right? Same object in the sense like all the 4 mental aggregates. If one mental aggregate is the object is a one particular object, the other mental aggregates also have the same mental object. Now, say for example, for the eye consciousness, if the eye consciousness is focusing on a particular rupa, particular rupa which is from the external, the other 3 mental aggregates which is in the eye consciousness, which arises together with the eye consciousness, have the same object, right? So that's the number 3. The 4th one, it has the same basis, or we call it it's had the same base, right? Which means, now say for example, if in the example of the eye consciousness, it arises, this eye consciousness will have the base as the eye base, right? So all the four mental aggregates will have the same base, right? It will not change, right? Say, for example, for the ear base, for the ear consciousness, it will have the ear base like that, right? So some of the consciousness, it will have the heart base, right? So it will have the same base, right? So when the four mental aggregates are mutually associated, they possess these four characteristics, right? Yes.
那在此，我们首先要看一下，对于相应不相应它的呈现的类型有这样的三种情况。第一种情形呢是相应，第二是不相应，第三呢是既相应又不相应。首先我们来看一下第一种的情况，即是相应的情况。那根据在《阿毗达摩概要经解》之中第2章所提到的相应法的内容，什么是相应呢？那在此呢，四名运它们呢是相互成为相互构成相应法，也就是什么意思呢？那四名运即是时运，还有呢受运、想运、行运和识运这四种的名运。这四名运呢，它们相互之间是互相构成相应法。那如果是一种的名运作为原法呢，那么剩下的三种名运则是与它相应。那如果是因呢是三种的名运呢，那么剩下的一种名运呢，则是与它相应所以它会构成1对3、3对1、2对2这样的关系。对四名运而言，它们要符合相应的4个特征。那么哪些是四种相应法的特征呢？它们分别是同时升起、同时灭去、同一所缘、同一依处。比如说以眼识、心识刹那之中的四名运为例，它们同时升起、同时灭去，并且呢，在眼识之中的这些的相应名法呢，它们也是和眼识一样，都是缘取同一个所缘，它们也有同一个依处。像眼识这一个名句之中的所有的名法，它们都依于眼镜下而转起。那相应的鼻、舌、识等等呢，各自依于各自的依处而升起。那同时呢，其相应名法也各自依于相同的依处而升起。那这是相应法的4个主要特征。OK， 本队。
So these are the four characteristics of association, right? So some dhammas, if they has to be associated to have the sampayoga, you have these four characteristics. So moving into the disassociation, which is vipayoga, we need to know there are few subtopics which these dhammas are explained, right? So under A it's given as always disassociated, which means the vipayoga it's I would say the Pali word which is used in the Burmese text is called ekanta. Ekanta means definitely, or we can say in this context as the Sayadaw translated, always disassociated. So under that there are two subtopics which Sayadaw has indicated in these Roman numerals. So one is number one, it's materiality and four mental aggregates. The second one is Nibbana and the four mental aggregates. So these are always disassociated, right? So we need to know this thing, right? So materiality means the four mental aggregates, sorry, the 28 rupa, the 28 matter, and four mental aggregates. Four mental aggregates are we know the four mental aggregates, right? So the Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, and Vijnana. So these are always disassociated. So why these are disassociated? And the reason for to include this in the Dhātukatha and also in the Patthana, Sayadaw has explained, right? So Sayadaw says this materiality produced by mind, which from the first life continuum after rebirth consciousness right up to the death consciousness, with the exception of the four immaterial resultant consciousness and 2 into 5 sense consciousness and the last death consciousness of the Arahat arises simultaneously with each consciousness, So what it means that the rupa, the arising of the rupa together with the material, the mentality. So Sayadaw has started this explanation with the Chittaja Rupa, right? Mind-born material. So the life continuum, the first life continuum, which means the first Bhavanga Chitta. So from the moment of the first Bhavanga Chitta, right, which means after the rebirth consciousness, right up to the death consciousness, with the exception of four material resultant consciousness, which means the four immaterial resultant consciousness, they arise in the immaterial plane, right? So therefore, they do not produce the material, right? So they do not produce the material. And also 2 into 5 sense consciousness means the Dvipancha Vijnana, the 10 consciousness, which eye consciousness, ear consciousness, like that. There are 5 consciousness, which is related to the 5 bases, right? So this 10 consciousness also does not produce the rupa. The chitta rupa does not arise because they are merely some the resultant consciousness, and they are not very they do not have any they don't have much significant, I would say they don't have much energy or power in those consciousness, right? All in this vipaka chitta. So they are not capable of producing the chittaja rupa, the mind born material. And also the last death consciousness of the arahat, right? It also does not produce the mind-born material. I still don't know the reason. Of course, I have never read it. So these, except those consciousness, all the other consciousness which arises in the in these planes, in the what do you call this? The Pancavokara, which means the Kama, Rupa, Kama and Rupa planes, material and fine material planes, they are capable of producing the Rupa. Okay, please translate that part.
Sorry, Pandit, can you move the files a little bit?
Yes, sorry, I'm sorry.
好，那接下来的话，我们看一下，第二种的不相应。什么是不相应呢？那么在这里呢，不相应它指的是那些的法，它们总是不与上述的四种相应的特征，所一致。那么在这里呢，首先提到的是第一种，有一些的法呢，他们将永远都不会与这些的四名运相应。哪些的类型呢？这里提到了2种的类型，第一种是色法不与四名运相应，那这里的色法呢，指的是28种的色法。第二种情况呢是涅槃不与四名运相应，这是2种情况。对于第一种情况，什么是色法不与四名运相应呢？在这里的色法呢，主要指代的是心声色。那哪些的心声色呢？它指的是从结生心之后，在五蕴界从结生心之后的第一个有分心开始，一直到最后一个的死亡心。那在这个过程之中，那也要去除4种的无色界的果报心，还有双五识以及阿拉汉的死心，因为这些心呢，它们不会产生心声色。OK， Pandit。
All right. So, and also the in addition to those consciousness, the materiality produced by karma, which also arises with the mental aggregates at the moment of the conceptions, which means together with the rebirth consciousness, the karma born material, karma produced materiality do arise. So together with that, they are also produced by the mind, right? Karma, it's also there, but they arises together, right? So they have a relationship, right? They are not associated, they are disassociated. So there is also there. And also the last these last 17 thought moments of 51 phases and then ceases simultaneously with some kind of consciousness. So what happens is that when this materiality is born, so they exist for 7 thought moments, right? 7 mind movements, or in other ways you call it 51 phases, 51 we call it mind nature, mind movements, and they cease together with some kind of consciousness, which means it can happen at any time, right? Any kind of consciousness. So they cease to exist after that point. And okay, please translate that.
那第二种类型的色法呢？那这里的色法呢，以各种类型去解释。刚刚解释的是心声色，第二种类型是业声色。那什么是业声色呢？那业声色它不与明法相应，但是呢，业声色有些时候它是会与明运同时升起。比如说，在有些明法生时的刹那呢，那么这些的色法呢，它也会在那时升起，然而它们并不会构成相应的关系。那再者的话呢，我们知道这些的业声色，它们会持续7个的心识刹那，或者说呢，持续51个的心识小刹那。当它们灭去的时候呢，也会同时伴随着某些明法的某些心识的灭去。
Right. So the two intimations, then further explain the two intimations produced by mind and also arise and cease together with the consciousness. So in these two cases, one with the mind produced materiality, they arises together with the mental aggregates, right? With the mind, together with the mind, and also the karma produced materiality, which arises at the point of conception and at the point of rebirth, they also arises together with the consciousness, with the mental aggregates. And so what happens is that now these things they do they happen to arise together in proximity, in nearby, right? So so in Burmese books I have seen that Basa Tika Sayadaw, Ashin Janaka, he explained this thing like when these mind related matter, I would say mind related matter, mind produced matter, and which includes the rupa, which are related to the point of conception. So in the Burmese books I have seen like this type of dissociation. It explains that they arises together nearby, right? Say for example, now say like if it's like your say now for okay, now yeah, monks and salis are there, right? Most of them. Say now you have kutis nearby, right? So you have kuti in this side and you have the kuti and another kuti in the opposite side, right? Say for example like that. So they arise in the near proximity, the nama and the rupa. So and they arises together as well. So and because of that, right? And because of that, what happened that what happened is that there is the question, right? Whether these dhammas, whether this nama and the rupa, the mentality and the materiality, whether these two are associated or disassociated, because they arise in very close proximity. It happens very nearby, very close to each other. So now they have this question, and because of that, so the Lord Buddha, he to clear all this doubt, to clear up all doubts on this matter, the Buddha expounded it here, and also in the disassociation condition of the pata, right? So to clear this doubt, to show that these are two sets of dhammas and they are disassociated, right? The nama and the rupa are disassociated. So in the what it means in here is the in the Dhatukatha, also in the Dhatukatha and also in the Patana, Lord Buddha explained that these dhammas are disassociated, right? So that is the reason to explain it. So in the Pali, we find it now. So I included the translation. Materiality is related to mentality by the way of disassociation condition. Mentality is related to materiality by the way of disassociation condition, right? Which means rupino dhamma rupinan dhammanam vipayutta paccena paccayo arupino dhamma rupinan dhammanam vipayutta paccena paccayo, right? So in the Patana, it's explained like that way. In Dhatukatha, it's explained in this sixth method and some other related methods. Yes, sir.
刚刚我们提到，有些时候虽然色法与名法色与不相应，但是呢，在某些时候他们会在同一刹那同时升起，也会在某些时候色法的灭时的刹那与名法的灭时刹那同时发生。因为它们具有这样子紧密的关联性，所以有些时候呢，就会因此而发生疑问。那名法与色法，它们相互之间究竟是相应还是不相应呢？为了解决上述的这个疑问呢，佛陀在这里呢，对于这个问题在巴塔那之中有了进一步更广泛的解释。在巴塔那之中呢，透过不相应缘对于这个问题进行了解释。怎么样子理解呢？也就是色法对于名法而言呢，色法对名法而言以不相应缘为缘，名法呢对色法以不相应缘为缘。OK， 本来。
All right. To explain the next section, I think we need to. All right. Okay. I'll do this. Okay. So that is point number 1, which we discussed here. That is point number 1, right? Here. So point number 2, and it says Nibbana and 4 mental aggregates are.
Sorry, Bande, I have a question here.
Yes,
So
sir.
why just explain the Jidāja and Gamaja, not mention the Aharaja and Uduja?
They are, I mean, they are, yes, the exact reason highlighted from here, right? I mean, yeah. This is the reason also. Because those two intimations produced by mind and also, I mean, the rupas, the rupa, the patisandhi rupa, patisandhi kammaja rupa, and the chittaja rupa, they arises together with the mind, the mental aggregates. For the utuja rupa, for utuja, bahira, and pavatti kammaja rupa, asanyusatta kammaja rupa. So these set of rupas, they have their own continuum. They are not linked to the mental aggregates. So that's why the vipayutta pacca, this disassociation condition, is not being preached, not being expounded for those bahira, utuja, asanyusatta kammaja rupa, and pavatti kammaja rupa.
So, Bande, you mean for Vipayutta Paccaya the rupa here not include aharaja and uduja?
Yes, they don't include aharaja, ituja, asanyasatta kammaja, and pavatti kammaja. They are not included. The viparita pacha is not given. Do you want me to take you in the Pali? In the Pali?
Yes, Pandit, you're right. Yes, Pandit. So please allow me to translate.
Yes.
刚刚呢，在这里呢，我问了老师一个问题。那在这里他只提到了叶声色和新声色的情况。那所以呢，我在这里呢提到为什么没有提到世界声色和新声色的问题。那在这里呢，主要是探讨民法跟色法那些类型的色法能够作为色法的相续流与民法建立联系。那么对于不相应缘这样的一种类型的缘法呢，这样的一种缘呢，它的缘所生法之中呢，实际上也只是包含有心声色与结生刹那的业声色。对于具生不相应缘而言，那所以在这里的话呢，当谈到以具生的关系而探讨不相应的时候呢，在此只是提及心声色和业声色，而没有提到世界声色和实声色。
Yes, somebody. Oh, there's a question.
So Bande, I want to ask again. So actually, when talking about the Vibhayuda in Patana, it's actually related to Sahajada condition. So mainly because we consider Sahajada, that's why we do not consider Aharaja and Uduja, only consider Chidaja and Palisandi Kamaja.
Okay, I'm sharing the right screen right now. Yes, so now you see, actually the Viparita Pacha, I would say there are few ways of categorizing it, right? So it has Sahajata, Pachajata, and Purejata also. There are three.
Yes, ma'am.
It happens in three ways, the Viparita Pacha. So when you go through this Pali, right, now this is the Kusalo Dhammo Abhyakatasa Dhammasa Viparita Pachena Pacho. So I'm not good at translating, of course. This Pali I'm not prepared. So I think you can get it, right? So we have the Kusala Dhamma and Abhyakata Dhamma in this side, and the Viparita Pacha. It's the disassociation condition, right? So then we find the topics. We call it the Matika here. Sahajatang, Pachajatang. There are two topics in this relationship, Kusala and Abhyakata. So it's Sahajata and Pachajata, right? So in Sahajata we find it Chitta Samuttananang Rupana. So that is the mind, Kusala Kanda means the Kusala four mental aggregates. Chitta Samuttananang Rupana means the mind-born material, right? Vipayutta Pachena Pacha. So then we move to the second one, Akusalo Dhammo Abhyakatasa Dhammasa Vipayutta Pachena Pacho. Then
Yes, Bande. So what I mean is, so when we're talking about the Vibhayuda here, it is actually only referred to Sahajada Vibhayuda.
Yes, of course. Not the Pachajata
Okay.
and all. Because Pachajata and Purejati, the arising point of the Nama Rupa, and they are different.
Yes, Bande.
Right, so here also we find the Aharaja and all. Aharaja does not appear here, right? only the Kammaja Rupa and the mind born material, right? The Chittaja Rupa.
If it is Pachajada, Vibhayuda, will mention all types of rupa.
Yes, also we get in the all types of rupa. All types of rupa which are already in the what do you call in Pali, the titi, upada titi, which has come to the titi. Titi, I don't know the English word. Titi kana, we call it Pali. So it's not included in this category, in this explanation in the Dhātukatha because it's not related to the mind. The arising point, it's different.
Okay, but so but I translate a little bit. 对，我们刚刚看到这里呢，探讨不相应的时候呢，涉及到佛陀所在发趣论之中提到的不相应缘。那么我们应当注意的是，对于不相应缘而言呢，它具有很多的类型，比如说有具生的不相应、前生的不相应、后生的不相应，还有一处所缘前生的不相应等等的类型。那如果是以具生、前生、后生这三种主要的类型，我们去进行分析呢，只有具生的类型呢，它才会有色法与名法同时升起的这样的一种情形的出现。而在此呢，主要是依据与具生不相应缘的方式而去进行解释。
Okay, we're done, right? Yes. Right. So, okay. Now the next point, the point number 2, Nibbana and four mental aggregates are always disassociated, right? Which means, so Nibbana is said to be a mentality, right? It's considered as a mentality. It's part of mentality, right? I mean, now don't get the word, the English word mentality. You will understand the word like it's related to the mind, right? I'm talking about the Pali word, right? The Pali word, it's translated as the original Pali word. What's wrong? Okay, so the original word, the Pali word for this mentality is nama. And because of that, why this is given the Nibbana, right? So Nibbana is why it is included in the nama, because now Nibbana is an object for some consciousness. Say, for example, for the path consciousness, for the fruit consciousness, for the some other consciousness, right? Some other related consciousness. Nibbana becomes an object, and because of the fact that it is an object, now Nibbana becomes the aramana, the object, right? And the mind and the mental factors which takes the object as the Nibbana it inclines towards the object as an object, right? I mean, the mind and the mental factors, they incline towards that object. So because of that factor, Nibbana is considered as nama, right? So the same time, consciousness, right? Consciousness and the mental factors, the 52 mental factors, they are also considered as mentality, right? So now we see it in both sides. We have mentality here, and in the other side also we have the mentality. And because of that, both these things belong to the mentality group. There's a question whether they are associated or not. So to state that this Nibbana and the mentality are not associated, disassociated, it is being taught here, right, as disassociated. Yes, sir.
So, but here a little bit strange, right? Usually we do not say, according to the Paramattha, we don't say Nibbana is equal to Nama. If so, the Paramattha will not be 4 types.
We call it as Nama also.
Because we say there's a Jida, Jidasika, Rupa, and Nibbana, 4 types of Paramattha.
Yes.
But here say Nibbana is also Nama. Then it's a little bit weird.
No, it's not weird. Okay. Please give me some time. I mean, I think I have to get to the etymological, what do you call this? Etymological expression, the nirutti of the Nama to explain it. So let me find it in the Dhammasangani commentary. As far as I remember, it's called Ara, the Sampayutta Dhamme. Okay, let me find it.
Okay, then I will translate first.
Yeah.
好，那在这里呢，涅槃呢，它也是作为四明运的不相应法。那为什么呢？好，在这里呢是这样解释到，那在此处涅槃也被称之为明，为什么呢？因为它作为心法和心所法的所缘，它被心与心所法所识知，并且呢是他们朝向的对象。那并且在同时呢，心与心所，他们也是称之为明。那如此呢，涅槃与心以及心所，他们都是明法。这样的话就会表现为他们是相应的。但是呢，佛陀在此处呢却做了诠释，他们实际上呢是不相应的，也就是涅槃与心法、心所法，他们是不相关的，是非相应的。
Please wait till I find this definition. Okay, I will write it down here. Okay, so in Dhammasangani there are 3 definitions given for nama, right? 3 definitions. I'm sorry, in the Atthasani, the Dhammasangani commentary. So I'm writing the one which which includes the definition, and which includes the definition for nibbana. So what it means is that now here we find the answer, right? Yeah, this is the nama. So attani means atta means self. So it means attani means I cannot translate it to English. First time I'm doing this kind of thing. Okay, attani means atta means self. So literally it means in self, right? In self. So in here what it means is like towards one's self, right? So aramanike dhamme means the dhammas, the phenomena which consist of the aramana. So aramana means object. Aramanika, I'll write it down here, right? So aramana, which means the object. So aramanike means whatever the dhammas which have an object. Right? So okay, sorry. So these are the aramanike dhamme. So object means something we know, right? Like the rupa, saddha, gandha, rasa, pottabha, and dhamma. Those are the object. So aramanike means which have an object. So what are the dhammas which have an object? It's going to be the mind and the mental factors. Right? So the mind and the mental factors are the phenomena which have which have an object. So nameti, I have to find the English word for nameti. Nameti means, oh, nameti, I think it's it's what Sayadaw mentioned as inclined. Sorry. Okay. Right. So the dictionary, it says bends, right? Bending something. So that's why Sayadaw has used the word inclined. Inclining something, right? So whatever the dhammas which are called as nama, they have the characteristic to incline the aramanika dhammas towards itself, right? So in the case of nibbana, so nibbana becomes the object, right? Nibbana becomes the object. So whatever the consciousnesses which have the object of nibbana, they are inclined towards the nibbana, right? To for that consciousness to arise, they need to have an inclination towards that object. So from the point of view of the nibbana, the aramanika dhammas, right? The mind and the mental factors, the nibbana, have the ability to bend the mind and the mental factors towards themselves. So that's why nibbana is also included in the nama. So we say like in chitta, cetasika, rupa, and nibbana. I write it short here, right? So this, all these three, right? Chitta is nama, cetasika is also nama, and also Nibbana is also Nama. Right? So Rupa standalone, it's going to be Rupa. Right? So you find this thing, the Sarupata in the Nikkepa Kanda, in the Dhammasangani Nikkepa Kanda, in the Suttanta Matika, Suttanta Dukkha. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Bande. Sadhu sadhu. 好，那为什么我们刚刚在这里看到将涅槃称之为名呢？这里的这个所谓的那玛，它的究竟的含义是什么呢？那实际上它与我们所理解的作为究竟法的名法是有差别的。在此呢，班德引用了法集论的译注阿塔萨利尼之中的解释来为大家做一个展示。那这里的话呢，提到阿达尼阿拉曼尼给达梅那梅迪迪那玛，它的含义是什么呢？首先，阿达尼的意思呢，就是能够朝向你自己。阿拉曼尼给达梅就是那些拥有所缘的法。那梅迪迪呢，即是教直校正，或者在这里呢，我们把它理解为朝向。好，那它们连在一起呢，也即是这些的法呢，这些什么叫做那玛呢？那那玛呢，就是能够使得心与心所朝向于他们自己。那所以的话呢，哪些有能力使得心与心所朝向于他们自己呢？也就是成为所缘呢？也就是一切的心法、心所法、色法和涅槃，他们都具有这样的能力，他们能够使得心法和心所法朝向于他们自己。那因为这样的缘故呢，他们被称为在此的那玛。So, Bande, if so, how to differentiate the nama and aramana? It feels like the same.
Nama and Aramana.
Yeah, it feels like the same.
So Nama and Aramana, of course, in this context, it's the same. I mean,
So,
now the other Nama, Chitta, Chetasika, they can become the Aramana, and also sometimes it becomes the Aramanika. Right? Now, say for example, if I'm thinking about my some thoughts which I had during the last hour, in the past, or maybe about in the past. So if I'm thinking, my mind is having my past thoughts which I had 1 hour ago. So 1 hour ago. So Aramana is the object, the consciousness and the mental factors which I had 1 hour ago. So Aramanika is the consciousness and the mental factors which I'm having right now. So here in this case, this Chitta and Chetika became Aramana and Aramanika both. So for the Nibbana, it's always going to be the Aramana. It's not going to be Aramanika, right? Because Nibbana cannot have an object.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like
Bande. Here, Bande, you mentioned they are all called nama, right?
sorry.
Jada, Sika, Rupa, and Nibbana, they can all be called as nama.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I did not get Chitta Chetika.
Yeah, because here, Bande, you write the arrows towards the nama, which means Jada, Sika, Rupa, Nibbana, they can all be called nama here, right?
No. It only includes this one. No, not the Rupa, only the other three. Okay, so let me check again. I think these three definitions had. I think I got it wrong here. Maybe. Yeah. Please switch. No, I checked the Sarupata book. So according to this definition, only the rupa we don't consider. It's true. Like the rupa has the characteristic of to have the object. To incline the mind toward itself. It's true, but only this chitta, chetsika, and nibbana is considered here as nama, because rupa is anyway it's in a different in category, right? That's why.
OK。那在这里的话呢，我们看到被称之为在此的拿嘛，也就是他有能力令得心与心所朝向于他们自己的这个能力呢，只有三种，就是心、心所和涅槃，并没有包含色在其中。
Okay, so may I continue?
Yes, Mandy.
There was a question asking me to list down the types of rupa in Patana. Now we are deviating from from Dhatukatha to learn other subjects, right? Okay, so this is the list. So these are the 7 types of rupa, which is explained in Patana. So number 1 is the chittaja rupa, mind-born material. Patisandhi kammaja rupa is the karma-produced material which arises together with the rebirth consciousness. And then the bahira rupa, which means the rupa which are external. Aharaja rupa means the nutrient-born material. Utuja rupa is the we call this the utu produce. Called the what is the English word? I don't know. Fire, is it? Okay, I don't remember the word, right? The next one is asanya satta kamaja rupa, which means the type of okay, somebody has given temperature. Okay, good, thank you. So temperature born material, and then asanya satta kamaja rupa, which means the material, the karma born material which arises in the beings who is in the asanya plane, right? And then pavati kamaja rupa, which means the mind, the karma born material which arises during the lifetime. I mean, after the rebirth consciousness. So those are the 7 types.
好，刚刚呢，这之前有问一个问题，请老师列举一下在八趣论之中所出现的色法的类型。有这样的7种类型的色法。第一个呢是心声色，第二个呢是结生刹那的夜声色，以及生命转起期间的夜声色。然后呢有识声色、识界声色，以及外色，还有无想有情的夜声色。Yes, Mandy.
All right. Okay. So moving into the next one. Next one is sometimes disassociated. It's number. Sayadaw has compiled it under B, right? A. And second topic, the dhammas which are sometimes disassociated, which means sometimes there is an association, sometimes there is no association. So Sayadaw explained it as with regard to the 4 mental aggregates, if feeling and the other 3 perception, feeling and the other 3, perception and the other 3, mental formation and the other 3, consciousness and the other 3, comply with the 4 characteristics of association, they are associated. Otherwise, they are disassociated. Now, what it means is that now regarding the 4 mental aggregate, when they arise together, right? They arise together, and they have these four characteristics of association. They are considered to be associated. If they are if they don't possess these four characteristics of association, they are disassociated. Right now, say for example, now we know in the consciousness, right? In a one particular person, it's a flow, right? It's not just one consciousness arising to all at the all time, right? So it arises, it perishes, it arises, perishes. It goes on like that. So the consciousness, if the mental factor if the mentality, these four mental aggregates arises together, the dhammas, the four mental aggregates which are arising together, they have this association, right? Because they have the four characteristics of association. If they don't have that, which means if you consider two mind movements, they arise at two different mind movements, right? So then the four mental aggregates, they are not considered to be associated, they are disassociated, right? So this is also an important thing that we need to know, right? Even within the now what we learn here, it's the mentality, right? The four mental aggregates. So for them, even within that, if you consider separate mind movements, or if you consider separate people, right? Say for me and the students, so the mental aggregates which arises in our what do you call it, in our continuums, they are disassociated like that. Right. Yes.
好，那刚刚提到的是他们永远不会相应的那些的法，也就是上述的色法与涅槃，他们呢都不可以作为四明运的相应法。那第二种情况呢，就是有些时候是不相应的法。哪些法呢？对于四明运而言，有些时候受运、想运、行运、识运对于剩下的三明运，如果他们不满足于相应法的四个特征、四个条件，也就是同时升起、同时灭去、同一所缘、同一依处，那么它们则是构成不相应的关系。比如说，在一个心识刹那之中的一种明运，假如说是识运，与其他心识刹那之中的其他的三明运，任何的一个明运，因为它们不满足同时升起、同时灭去等的条件呢，所以他们是不会成为相应法啊，被称为是不相应。
Right.
OK 吧？
Yes. So now we move into the number C. I mean the point number C, which Sadhu has explained, neither associated nor disassociated. So this is also a very important thing that we need to know. So Sadhu has listed out in 8 subtopics. It's 8 points. Materiality and nibbana, they are considered to be neither associated nor disassociated. Now, for regarding the materiality and the mentality, and for the nibbana and the mentality, there was a kind of what do you call as this? There was a kind of a doubt whether these dhammas are, if you consider materiality and mentality, right, which arise in close proximity, whether they are whether these dhammas are associated or not, right? For the nibbana and the mentality, there was a doubt whether they were associated or not, right? But for materiality and nibbana, there is no reason to doubt, right? So materiality and nibbana, they are not connected at all. They don't have any close proximity or have the characteristic like the nibbana, right? If you can compare those two, right? So if you compare those two, so then because of that fact, you don't consider materiality and nibbana to be either associated or disassociated, right? So you consider they are neither associated nor disassociated, right? And same with the materiality and materiality. Say the two sets of rupa are there. they are not considered to be associated, also nor disassociated. The other one is feeling and feeling, right? Feeling, if you consider one feeling and the other feeling, I mean, it's like you don't say like you're with yourself, right? Like that. So feeling and feeling, it's not considered like that to be associated or disassociated. Same with the perception and perception, mental formations and mental formations, and consciousness and consciousness, contact and contact, volition and volition, etc. Right? So Sayadaw has broken. I mean, they have further digging deep into the mental factors as well, right? So these dhammas, they are not considered as associated or disassociated. Yes.
好，那在这里呢，有一些的法，它们呢相互之间是既非相应，又非不相应。那么哪些法相互之间是这样的关系呢？在此提到了8种的情况。第一种情况是色法与涅槃，它们是既非相应，又非不相应。对于明法和涅槃之间的关系，在刚刚我们有提到，有些时候呢，我们仍会产生疑问，他们是否仍然是有可能相应或者是不相应？但是对于色法与涅槃而言呢，他们是不会有这样的疑问的，他们之间的关系呢是确定的，既非相应又非不相应。除此以外，还有色法对明法，色法与色法之间，他们也是这样的关系。还有呢，受与受，想与想。行与行，识与识，处与处，以及but the volition here is Vedana, right?
Yes, Vedana.
还有思与思之间，它们呢都是属于既非相应又非不相应的关系。OK， 班的。
Okay. So further moving down, Sayadaw has included an exception for here, but exception kind of a rule. So it says, when it is said that mental formation and mental formation are neither associated nor dissociated, it means that the 50 states of mental formation, aggregate, contact and contact, volition and volition, and so on, are neither associated nor disassociated. It's a further explanation on what we learned before. But now this is the most important thing. But contact and volition, contact and wisdom, and such pairs of different states of mental formation aggregate are associated. Right now, what it says, it's like if you consider different mental aggregates, right? Mental aggregates, they are considered to be associated, like volition and contact and volition, contact and wisdom, right? Like that, we can make pairs, right? So they are considered to be associated. And then similarly, when it is said that the consciousness and consciousness are neither associated nor disassociated, this is meant in the case of I consciousness and I consciousness, and so on for like pairs, right? Say now regarding the consciousness, what it means that they are neither associated nor disassociated means that, say, if you take I consciousness, and that I consciousness is disassociated with the I consciousness, like that, right? Ear consciousness, it's disassociated with the ear consciousness. So like that it goes. So, but now this is very important. Next one is, but the I consciousness and the remaining 6 consciousness are disassociated. If you consider I consciousness, it is disassociated with the ear consciousness, right? There is another concept, right? We have to learn, right? Because they are in the Pali, it's the when you consider I consciousness, the other 6 types of consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, like that. So they are disassociated. It's considered like that. So yes, like that. We have to take, right? Yes, sir.
So, but here, if like a Jida to Jida, like a Chakunyana to Chakunyana, or we say Chakunyana and the other remaining 6 consciousness are Vibhayuta. Here, this Vibhayuta, how we explain by Patana, or it is not by the way of Patana?
Exactly. It's not the way of Patana. So in theory, in the Burmese books, it's explained that the domain regarding the Vipayutta, disassociation, of Dhatukatha is much larger than the, it's greater than the domain for the Patana. It's like that.
OK，好的。好，那除了上述我们所提到的8种既非相应又非不相应的情况之外呢，在这里呢又提到了一些的特例。那在这里呢，我们需要了知的是，在上述所提到的行运和行运，也就是刑法和刑法之间，它们是既非相应又非不相应。那这指的是什么呢？它指的是对于50种的心所法，也就是行运所包含的50种的心所法之中，那么如果是重复的，比如说触对受触，思对思，以及像这样类似的2种一致的刑法呢，它们是构成既非相应又非不相应的关系。但是虽然同是行运，那其中的触与思，或者呢触与会心所，像这样的配对呢，它们之间的关系呢，那么它们则是属于相应的关系，也就是它们有可能在同一名句之中属于相应民法。那同样的，当我们说实与实，它们既非相应又非不相应的时候呢，那这里的含义呢，就指的是，比如说眼识与眼识呢，它是既非相应又非不相应的。但是需要注意的是，眼识和其他的剩余的6种的识呢，它们是属于不相应的关系。也就是说，眼识与耳识、鼻识、耳识、鼻识、舌识等呢，是属于不相应的关系。
Right. So moving into the next point, for number D, Sarah has mentioned there are four things, right? 4 kinds of disassociation. So these are straight away from the Tika, of course. It says first one is disassociation by planes, right? So what is mean that this is the difference between the sensuous, fine material, immaterial, and supramundane planes, which means the Kamavachara, Rupavachara, Arupavachara, and Lokuttara. So some states of inquiry which comes in this 6th method, they're straight away from like Kama Bhava, Rupa Bhava, Arupa Bhava, like that, right? So if one particular state of inquiry, if it comprises of a particular plane, then the other planes are considered to be disassociated with that, right? So like that, you have to consider. So the next one.
So he,
Yes,
sorry, Bande. So here, it's talking about nama or nama rupa.
Both. We consider together, like say for example, for sensuous plane, we consider like the 54 chittas and the 28 rupa. for the sensuous plane, and that straight away it's considered to be it is disassociated with the 15. I mean, whatever the whatever the dhammas which arises in the fine material plane straight away. So you don't consider nama and rupa like that. Consider.
OK， 好，那在这里呢，接下来是4种类型的不相应。哪些法它们可以是被称之为是不相应呢？这里提到了有4种的情况。第一种呢是依于戒而去构成不相应，比如说对于欲界、色界、无色界和出世间界，那么存在于欲界的这些名法以及色法呢，它们自然的与剩余的3种界的名法呢是不相应的。那以这样的方式呢，而构成第一种不相应的类型。
The number 2, it's disassociation by classes. Now classes, it means the example this here is given. The difference between the wholesome and the unwholesome resultant. I don't know what it means by inoperative means the kriya, right? The wholesome, unwholesome, resultant, and inoperative. So they are considered to be disassociated. Wholesome chittas, unwholesome, resultant, and the inoperative. And also the root conditions. Root condition consciousness and non-rooted conditioned classes of consciousness, right? That means the sahetuka chitta and the ahetuka chitta. So they are considered to be they are disassociated. And then the wholesome consciousness and unwholesome consciousness. So it's also differ. So like that, and in that way there are so many ways, right? So many ways that this disassociation happens, right? So the basis was a particular class for this disassociation, right? Wholesome, unwholesome, resultant, like that. Yes.
那第2种情况呢，是依于它的性类去判别它们不相应，基于善不善、果报、为作以及有因和无因的性类呢，将它们视为是不相应的。比如说善法和善心和不善心呢，它们自然呢是属于不相应的。Sorry, Bande, can I ask one more question?
Okay, sure.
So many questions today.
Yeah, it's
So,
like that.
so,
same. It's the second time I'm going through this thing. Same with the English class.
Yeah. So we know that Sahiduga, Ahiduga, sometimes they are also included in the, for example, Ahiduga. They are sometimes included in the Vibhaga or Kiriya. So why here mention them again? Actually, they already concluded into the Vibhaga and Kiriya. Or like a kusala, akusala.
No. Also, it's like I mean, you have to consider it like this. Like say, now if one, okay, we have to separate it like this.
Okay.
Like this.
Then no problem.
Yeah. I mean, what we are going to have in maybe in the next classes in the 6th method, there are some states of inquiries which belong to, like say there's a state of inquiry called kusala dhamma. Then you say kusala dhamma. Okay, it's here. It comes here, right? It's kusala dhamma. It comes here. So kusala dhamma, it's disassociated with the akusala dhamma and abhyakata dhamma, like that.
Yes, Ben.
Okay, shall we move to the next one?
Yes, Ben.
Yes. Okay. So next one is disassociation by time. This is quite easy, which means that there's a difference. There's a difference between the past, present, and the future. Present, future, and the past. Oh, I'm sorry. Past, future, and present. That's how it's given, right? So past, future, and present. So there's a difference, right? So whatever the dhammas, say for example some consciousness, and so they are considered, if they arise at different times, they are considered to be disassociated by times, right? That's the third type. And the fourth type, it is given as disassociation by continuity. Continuity means santana. If say now the example which I take now, in my santana, my continuity, there are some dhammas, right? Some dhammas which arise within my continuity, and that some dhammas which arise here, they are considered to be disassociated with another continuity, right? So like that. So you have to consider like internal and external, like that. So further, I have to explain, although the wholesome consciousness which arise in oneself is same as that in the other, they differ in continuity, and therefore they are said to be disassociated by continuity. Now what it says is that now the same type of consciousness are arising within me, between my continuity and your continuity, right? Say for example the first kusala chitta, right? From the 8 kusala chittas, we say the first kusala chitta. So the first kusala chitta which arise in my continuity is disassociated with the first kusala chitta which arises in your continuity, like that. So that is the fourth type, right?
好，那么接下来呢，则是第三种依于时间而有构成不相应。那什么样的时间呢？依于过去、未来和现在这三种时间的差异呢，而有不相应。比如说，那么对于发生在过去的一些善心呢，它们和现在或未来所发生的善心呢，它们是可以被视为依于时间而不相应。第四种呢，则是依于三达那，即是依于相续而不相应。那么主要是依于这里的相续呢，它会升起于我们的内在，以及有些时候呢外在，或者换言之呢，在不同的有情的内在，它会发生有不一样的相续。那比如说呢，尽管我们内在呢是有升起像这样的善心，那别人的心里面也升起了善心，然而因为他们是隶属于不同的相续之中，所以呢他们是不相应的。那老师举个例子，比如说老师现在心中升起了八大善心之中的第一个大善心，越具之相应的无形心啊，那对于大家而言呢，大家也升起了同样的越具之相应的无形心，然而因为是属于不同的相续之中，所以呢，它们也是不相应的。OK 吧？
Yes, so we'll end the class now from this point. So next week we'll be looking at a couple of examples, and then we'll work on. So for this method number 6 in Dhatukatha, there are 22 groups. Some of them are pretty much the same, of course, but for the sake of understanding, for a better understanding, we'll be going through all of them as how it is taught in the Burmese methods, and we'll be learning a couple of theories. So I will send you some additional notes, of course, which some of the facts, of course, are mentioned by Sayadaw. Some of them are not, maybe. Yes, some of them are not. So I will send some of these factors. So, so we'll meet up next time, right? Yes. So if you have any questions regarding what we discussed today, so you can ask.
But can I ask questions?
Sure. No
So
problem.
when we're talking neither Sambayuda nor Vibayuda, for this case, when we try to say why they are reasonable in like according to Vibayuda, should we consider by the deconditioned, like 4 types, or how we say they are the type of Vipa-Yuta. For the C, mentioned 8 types.
Yes. I mean, I forgot to explain one thing regarding these 8 types. That is that these dhammas are, I mean, these types of dhammas, they, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
Like, but because we know they are not Sambha-Yuta. Why? Because they are not satisfied with the 4 characteristics. But how we judge they are Vipa-Yuta? They are like nor Vipa-Yuta.
Yeah, for number 1 and number 2 also, for this one, number 1 and number 2, we know the reason already, like materiality and nibbana. So for now said materiality, and we say the mentality, right? So we said they are vipayutta, especially with what are the material? The chittaja rupa and the, oh, sorry, this, my handwriting is very bad, right? But it's on the kamaja rupa, right? Because they arise in close proximity nearby, right? There's kind of an, it's a, they arises together very close. So because of that, you need to explain it. They are not associated, they are disassociated, like that. So for the case with nibbana and the mentality, again we had a problem, right? Why? Because it is considered as nama, and this mentality is also considered to be nama. Do you get this point, right? So, and these are the reasons for this materiality and nibbana to be explained as disassociated. But when you put them from the nibbana and the materiality together, you don't have that kind of a doubt, right? That they are disassociated. So there is no reason to explain this thing as disassociated, right? So that's why it's not included here. For materiality and materiality also the same case, right? We know they are separate entities, they are disassociated. That's why.
That's a question here, Bande. So the materiality, the rupa here means they are the same type of rupa or different types of rupa. For example, if they are different types of rupa, kamaja and uduja, they can arise at the same time.
Yes. Yes. They can arise at the same time, but I mean, they are anyway separated, right? Oh, that's a very good question, right? So they rise at the same time, together, same mind movement.
So yeah, that's why how we say they are not Vipa-Yuta.
Yes, even like say if there are 2 chittaja kalapa, right? Chittaja or whatever the type of kalapa, aharaja, so they are anyway separated. Anyway, they are separated already. So that's the reason that they are not considered, even within the same group. They are separated. So you don't say it's sampayutta. You don't need to say it's vipayutta like that. Okay, I will think more about it, right? On this, I will reflect.
Because
more
yes, but because we just say if we're talking about Vipa-Yuta, so by the 4 conditions, one is according to the times by the Gala. So in this condition, if we try to discuss by the Gala, they actually can be arise in the same times.
Yes, yes. Regarding, what we see in the Patana, especially with the Vipayutta, it's always related to a Rupa, the relationship, like Nama and Rupa, like that. Whether it's Sahajata Vipayutta,
what I
Upajata,
mean,
Pachajata. Yes.
what I mean is if we go to the number D, it's when we're talking about the Vibhayuddha. If we say according to the times, they are different times, so we say they are Vibhayuddha. But here, sometimes some Rupa, they arise in at the same times. That's why we call it not Vibhayuddha. And also should we judge all these dhammas relationship according to the number D mentioned four
Number 3, right?
conditions we need to consider of D in the Vibhayuddha. This is a C if we go to the D. So
Okay.
this one is 4 types of Vibhayuddha, right? So according to the planes, classes, times, and sandana. Should we consider these 4 conditions to say they are not Vibhayuddha?
We can use, but what I understand is like not everything cannot be included here. I mean, this comes from the Tika. This it says for here it's like Bhumi, Jati, Kala, Santana. Explain like that. So the question also which you are asking from the Chittaja Rupa and the Kamaja Rupa which arises at the same time, I think it cannot be included here. Or maybe we can say okay, we can include that in the classes also, but still we don't explain Rupa and Rupa as disassociation.
Yes, like for example, if we're talking about the Jidāja and Aharaja Rupa, by the classes, they are all referred to the Kamavajara. They are all Kamavajara Rupa. So according to this, they are not Vibhayuddha. And also the same by the Gala, by the times. Sometimes they can arise at the same time. So because of this, they are not Vibhayuddha.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. Yes, if it's different times, then it's yeah. So let me think more about it and try to find an answer for your question
Okay, but
specifically, right? I
okay,
also
but
don't have a specific. I know it's not there, right? Those kind of uh, states of inquiries are not there, which compares the materiality and materiality. It's not there. There are no states of inquiries like that. But still, I need to find a good answer from maybe from the Tika, if possible. I think maybe yeah, maybe I'll be able to find an answer for this question. Chittaja Rupa and Kamaja Rupa arising at the same time and not considered to be Vipayutta. I mean, it's straight away given like Rupa and Rupa are not Vipayutta. It's straight away. I have seen that maybe in the commentary, but the reason not given. I mean, the reason is there, of course. Like if you don't have any doubt whether these are even though they arise at the same time, whether they are associated or not, right? So that's the answer which I have seen, but I need to find more logic on this. Yes.
okay, but so maybe I translate a little bit.
Yes.
好，那刚刚提到一个问题，就是 在这里我们看到C 这个种类之中，既非相应又非不相应。我们在这种类型之中，如果判断这里所提及的法相互之间的关系之时，它们如果是处于不相应，属于非是否相应，是否是属于相应法呢？我们可以根据4种的特征去进行判断。那如何我们去判断它们是非不相应法呢？那主要是提的这个问题。老师呃会再去找一些相关的内容来去做一些解释。
Okay, so okay, in the class, right? So we'll share the merits. Share the merits and in the class. Okay, so we will share the merits which we accumulated during last 1.5 hours by learning, teaching, reflecting, questioning the supreme words of Buddha. So from this Kusala Karma, may it be a supportive factor for us to attain Nibbana. May that be a supportive factor for our teachers, for our parents, and the donors to attain Nibbana. May this Kusala Karma be a supportive factor for all the beings in this world and the other worlds to attain Nibbana. May all the beings in this world and the other worlds be well, happy, and peaceful. And with those wishes, we will recite these final stanzas from the Abhidhamma commentary and share the merits. Yang pattang kusalang tassa anubhavena panino sabbe saddhamma rajassa ñatva dhammang sukhavahang papunantu visuddhaya sukhaya patipattiya asokamanupayasang nibbana sukhamuttamang chirang tiṭṭhatu saddhammo dhamme hontu sagarava sabbepi satta kalena sammadevo pavassatu yatarakkhīnsu purāna surājānu tatevimang rājārakkhatu dhammena attanova pajang imāya dhammānu dhamma patipattiya buddhaṃ pujemi imāya dhammānu dhamma patipattiya dhammang pujemi imāya dhammānu dhamma patipattiya sanghang pujemi addhāyimāya patipattiya jati jara vyādi maranam ha parimuccissāmi idamme punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu idamme punyang nibbānassa paccayo hotu mama punya bhagang sabba sattānaṃ bhājemi te sabbe me samang punya bhagang labhantu buddha sāsanaṃ cirang tiṭṭhatu buddha sāsanaṃ cirang tiṭṭhatu buddha sāsanaṃ cirang tiṭṭhatu sadhu sadhu sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for Bante's teaching. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Bye, Bande.
Thank you very much, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much,
Sadhu,
Bante.
sadhu,
Sadhu, sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu.
Cảm ơn Bante.
Thank you,
Sorry, Bante.
Bante. 好好读。
Bante, can we just talk a little bit more